Bojack Horseman is a hit Netflix sitcom about a washed-up actor who used to be on a hit sitcom. In spite of that ironic premise, the show follows Bojack as he tries to grow as a person while struggling with addiction, depression, and some third thing I'll have to remember to add later. Also, he's a horse. Why is he a horse? The show makes you ponder a lot of deep existential questions to the point that you might end up overlooking the most obvious question that it raises. What the hell is going on with these animals? Well, be sure to like and subscribe because in this video, I'm going over everything the show presents about the topic to get to the bottom of all the unanswered questions about these animal people. From are there normal animals, to is it cannibalism to eat meat from a different animal, all the way to if humans even really exist in this world in the first place. I guess I should get the elephant out of the room first. Relationships between humans and animals probably aren't unethical since they're human enough that it wouldn't matter. Like, we don't give Chi-Chi the side eye even though she's married to a monkey! Although, obviously, if this was set in the real world, I don't think they would let Diane anywhere near the dog park. With that settled, the first real thing to address is what's going on. Are there normal animals? No! Yeah, that's right. According to the creator of the show, all animals are animal people. There are no pets, there are no birds flying around. It's a world of goofies and not Plutos. Which tracks since in the show's entire run, not only do we never see a normal animal, but there are no references to there ever having been normal animals. But as we've seen, animal people still act like animals, especially towards one another, like Princess Carolyn having a mouse toy, and we even see an eagle hunting a mouse on screen at one point. Which is definitely a hate crime, by the way. But regardless, by the way they act, it is clear that in spite of them all being animal people, which is the official term by the way, they at the very least weren't all the same originally. It says there are no references to regular animals at all, even in popular culture or history in this world. My theory is that the reason these animal people exist is because they evolved alongside humans, and eventually all animals became able to interbreed with each other and the humans, becoming the weird animal people that we see in the show. Strangely, in spite of the fact that they are able to interbreed, and in spite of the fact that they canonically have human-like reproductive organs, as seen when that baby seahorse was born, they are still born the same way animals would be. For instance, chickens come from eggs. They still lay eggs. We literally see them hatch on screen. So, if another animal had a kid with a chicken person, would the kid be born from an egg? Even if it wasn't a chicken? Another example is that male seahorses are still the ones who get pregnant. So, what the hell would happen if a seahorse and a chicken had a kid? Would the male seahorse lay an egg? How would that work? Look, it's weird. Regardless, their ability to interbreed is exactly where my next question comes in. Does this mean they are all the same species? This is a question that seems simple on the surface, but becomes more complicated the longer you think about it. Ralph, in the Season 4 episode Ruthie, says he can't wait to find out which species the kid is, when him and Princess Carolyn were expecting. AKA directly stating that different types of animal people are different species. But this statement also raises some flags that might point to a different direction. You may have noticed that the kid will only be one of their species, either a cat or a mouse. This is because in this world there are no hybrid animals. If two animals had a kid together, the kid would be the same type of animal as one of their parents, and as such, the same species. Creating with it the implication that the qualifier for what species they belong to seems to be which traits they inherit, since only one parent can pass on traits. And if you're gonna complain about this being scientifically impossible, so are the bird people flying around, you just kinda gotta accept it. Now, realistically, this was probably done just to explain why there are no hybrid animals, and yet, this explanation has some implications, because sharing traits is actually not a necessity to being considered the same species. According to science, if two different animals can have fertile, viable offspring, they are considered the same species. Although obviously there are exceptions, typically relating to whether they occupy different habitats, if they breed in the wild or only in captivity, that sort of thing. In which case they would still be considered separate species even though they have fertile offspring. That being said, in the world of Bojack Horseman, they do breed in the wild and occupy the same populations, so they can call it whatever they like. By all definitions, they really should be considered the same species. Let me explain it like this. Let's talk food for a second. In this world, there are only animal people, no animals, and it's explained in the chicken farm episode that meat comes from taking animal people, injecting them with hormones which intellectually stunts them and makes them taste more delicious. And then they get raised as livestock, saying that this distinguishes them from regular people, so there's no moral gray area. They are food, not friend. So with this established, let's ask the question. In this world, are all meat eaters cannibals? Well, your gut instinct is probably say that if they are considered different species, then it's technically not cannibalism, as the definition of cannibalism is whether or not you eat members of your own species. So unless it was something like a chicken eating a chicken, for instance, it wouldn't be considered cannibalism. And you can argue this is the case in the show, as the cow waitress got offended at someone ordering steak, and a pig seemed uncomfortable to see someone else eating a pig head. But as we have seen, these animals can interbreed and give birth to other types of animals. So if a human is born, hatched even, from a chicken person, would you still not consider it cannibalism for them to eat chicken people? You probably would, right? I mean, they can literally be born from the same animals that they eat. The same animals that by all definitions, they are the same species as. So while they might consider themselves to be different species because they don't share traits, the evidence here points to that just being some extreme cognitive dissonance. Meaning, under this interpretation, it is definitely all cannibalism, and the ones upset at seeing people eat the same kind of animals as them are really only getting uncomfortable because seeing it done to someone who looks like you makes it seem far more real, because then the food animals would technically just be members of your own species, regardless of what animal they are. Because, taken to the extreme, this means all the animals we see, including humans, could be descended from another quote-unquote species. In strictly talking humans for a second, if by all definitions they are the same species as the animal people, and every human we see holds the possibility of having been descended from an animal person somewhere along the line, because, just as a reminder, we have seen humans be born from animal people before, like Penny's brother for instance, then at what point do we start looking at these humans as being the same as the animals? I mean, this is a world of animal people, all of which are fundamentally the same, only holding traits from their animal ancestors. What's to say the humans in this world aren't the same? AKA, they are fundamentally the same as the animal people and only hold traits from their human ancestors. Like instead of a horse person, we have a human person. After all, humans are animals too. Well, those are all my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think like I do that the humans and animals in this show are all basically the same species? Or do you hold a different opinion? And what are your theories for where these animal people came from? I look forward to reading your comments, but for now, that's all I got for you today, folks. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.